Prime Video didn't end Hank MacLean's story in the Fallout Season 2 finale. It disguised it. Because the more you examine that final scene, not emotionally, but strategically, the less it feels like closure and the more it feels like misdirection. The mind wipe looks clean. It looks tragic. It looks like poetic justice. But Hank MacLean has never been a poetic character. He is calculated, disciplined, and obsessively prepared. And if there's one consistent truth Fallout has shown us about Vault-Tec and the systems it built, it's this. Nothing is ever left to chance. To understand why the mind wipe might be fake, we need to briefly revisit where Hank's story stands. Across 2 seasons, Hank evolves from a seemingly mild-mannered overseer into one of the most unsettling figures in the series. In Season 1, he presents himself as the embodiment of Vault civility, polite, rational, committed to cooperation, and the Golden Rule. But beneath that surface lies a man capable of orchestrating catastrophic destruction while convincing himself it was necessary for preservation. The revelation of his involvement in Shady Sands reframed him completely. He wasn't protecting humanity, he was preserving control. Season 2 deepens this transformation. Hank isn't just following Vault-Tec ideology, he is refining it. He understands the mind control chip technology intimately. He has studied it, advanced it, and weaponized it. He manipulates Lucy not through force, but through emotional engineering. He exploits Cooper Howard's vulnerabilities. He operates several moves ahead of everyone else. And then, in the finale, when Lucy gains temporary power over his chip interface, Hank appears to surrender everything. He presses the button. He wipes his mind. Lucy watches as her father becomes vacant, stripped of memory and ideology. It's staged as tragic resolution. She leaves him behind in New Vegas, believing the threat has ended. But the logic doesn't fully hold. Hank's defining characteristic throughout the series is contingency planning. He never allows a single point of failure. Vault-Tec itself was built on redundancy. Every vault was layered with hidden agendas and secondary protocols. Why would the architect of a mind control system design a device capable of permanently erasing his own consciousness without building in a failsafe? The existence of a second control device is the first major red flag. Lucy believes she has control because she holds the chip's remote interface, but Hank calmly reveals another mechanism. That moment is critical. It proves that the system is layered. If there are multiple control devices, then authority is hierarchical. And Hank, as the one who perfected the technology, would logically position himself at the top of that hierarchy. When he presses the button, he appears to enter the same reset mode we've seen in other chipped individuals. His posture shifts. His expression empties. It's convincing, but then something happens that doesn't align with previous examples. When Lucy breaks down emotionally, Hank responds. He stirs. He looks at her. He comforts her gently and specifically before returning to standby. Other wipe subjects don't do that. Throughout the series, chipped individuals who are overridden become blank and mechanical. They do not break through programming in response to emotional stimuli. They don't demonstrate personal recognition. Hank's reaction suggests retained awareness, even if only partial. Now, there are counter-arguments worth acknowledging. It could be residual neural activity. It could be emotional memory embedded in hardware. It could be an involuntary reflex. But comforting Lucy isn't a generic human instinct in that context. It's father-specific, history-specific. That specificity matters. It suggests that identity wasn't completely erased. More importantly, it fits Hank's psychological profile. Hank does not confront power directly if he can avoid it. He reframes it. He redirects it. He manipulates perception. From Season 1 onward, he rarely lies outright. Instead, he omits critical truths and guides others toward conclusions that benefit him. Lucy's entire moral framework was shaped by him. She equates cooperation with virtue because he conditioned her to do so. In the Vault-Tec office's confrontation during Season 2, Hank leans heavily on nostalgia and shared memories. He understands Lucy's emotional vulnerabilities better than she does. If he needed to escape her control in the finale, what would be more consistent with his character? Physical resistance or emotional misdirection? The mind wipe could be the ultimate narrative he feeds her. By appearing erased, Hank removes himself as a target. Lucy believes justice has been served. She stops pursuing him. Maximus no longer sees him as an active threat. The wasteland forgets about him. A neutralized villain is watched. A forgotten villain is free. From a storytelling perspective, the theory also carries weight. Hank is deeply embedded in the broader conspiracy structure of Fallout. His specialized Pip-Boy initiated Vault-Tec's Phase 2. His pre-war connections and corporate maneuvering haven't been fully explored. We still lack comprehensive flashbacks showing how he rose within Vault-Tec before the bombs fell. Ending such a structurally significant character with a quiet self-deletion would leave too many narrative threads unresolved. If the wipe were genuine, Season 3 would likely explore themes of identity stripped from ideology, whether Hank without conditioning becomes someone different. That could be compelling, but it undercuts the long-game strategist persona the show has carefully constructed. The alternate possibility is far more thematically aligned. If Hank faked the wipe, he is operating under perfect camouflage. He avoids execution. He avoids imprisonment. He avoids martyrdom. He avoids ongoing resistance. He becomes invisible. And invisibility is power. We have already seen Hank weaponize other people's weaknesses. He manipulated the snake oil salesman as an emissary. He leveraged Cooper Howard's family to create pressure. Every major move he makes is strategic, not reactive. Faking a mind wipe would be entirely consistent with that pattern. It allows him to survive every possible outcome while retaining long-term agency. There is also the question of composure. During the finale, Hank does not appear panicked. Even when Lucy holds leverage over his chip, he remains calm, almost resolved. For a man obsessed with control, permanent cognitive erasure should provoke fear. Instead, he behaves like someone executing a final calculated maneuver. New Vegas as the setting amplifies this interpretation. The city symbolizes illusion, spectacle, and performance. If Hank staged his own mental execution, there could be no more fitting location. If Season 3 introduces subtle signs, unexplained chip activations, resurfacing Phase 2 protocols, coordinated behavior among pre-chipped individuals, the theory gains immediate credibility. Hank would not need to reemerge dramatically. He could operate quietly, influencing events from behind the scenes. The thematic resonance would be powerful. Fallout repeatedly emphasizes that systems of control persist beyond visible leadership. Vault-Tec survived not through brute force, but through infrastructure and foresight. Hank surviving through deception would embody that philosophy perfectly. Ultimately, the theory reframes the Season 2 finale. Instead of watching a villain undone by his own invention, we may have witnessed his greatest act of manipulation. Lucy's tears would not signify closure, but misdirection. The audience's relief would not mark justice, but strategic camouflage. The most unsettling possibility is not that Hank might return. It is that he never truly left. And if that's the direction Fallout takes, then Season 2's ending wasn't an ending at all. It was a setup. Carefully staged, emotionally convincing, and chillingly consistent with the character of a man who has always believed that control is compassion and that survival belongs to whoever plans furthest ahead.